Grace Dale Nichols was born the third of 6 children on December 28, 1932, in Robbins, a suburb of Chicago, Illinois, to Samuel Earl Nichols, a factory worker who was elected both town mayor of Robbins in 1929 and its chief magistrate, and his wife, Licia Nichols, a homemaker. Later, the family moved into an apartment in the Woodlawn neighborhood of Chicago. For high school, Nichols attended Englewood High School, from where she graduated in 1951. Nichols also studied in New York City and Los Angeles. Her break came in an appearance in Kicks & Co., Oscar Brown's highly touted but ill-fated 1961 musical. In a thinly veiled satire of Playboy magazine, she played Hazel Sharp, a voluptuous campus queen who was being tempted by the devil in Orgy magazine to become Orgy Maiden of the Month. Although the play closed after a short run in Chicago, Nichols attracted the attention of Hugh Hefner, the publisher of Playboy, who booked her for a Chicago Playboy Club. She also appeared in the role of Carmen for a Chicago Stock Company production of Carmen Jones and performed in a New York production of Porgy and Bess. Between acting and singing engagements, Nichols did occasional modeling work. In January 1967, Nichols also was featured on the cover of Ebony magazine, and had 2 feature articles in the publication in 5 years. Nichols toured the United States, Canada and Europe as a singer with the Duke Ellington and Lionel Hampton bands. On the West Coast, she appeared in The Roar of the Greasepain and For My People, and she garnered high praise for her performance in the James Baldwin play Blues for Mr. Charlie. Prior to being cast as Lieutenant Uhura in Star Trek, Nichols was a guest actress on television producer Gene Roddenberry's first series The Lieutenant in an episode, To Set It Right, which dealt with racial prejudice. On Star Trek, Nichols was one of the first black women featured in a major television series. Her prominent supporting role as a bridge officer was unprecedented. Nichols was once tempted to leave the series, however, a conversation with Martin Luther King Jr. changed her mind. Towards the end of the first season, Nichols was given the opportunity to take a role on Broadway. She preferred the stage to the television studio, so she decided to take the role. Nichols went to Roddenberry's office, told him that she planned to leave, and handed him a resignation letter. Roddenberry tried to convince Nichols to stay but to no avail, so he told her to take the weekend off, and if she still felt that she should leave then he would give her his blessing. That weekend, Nichols attended a banquet that was being run by the NAACP, where she was informed that a fan really wanted to meet her. The fan was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. King personally encouraged her to stay on the series, saying she could not give up because she was playing a vital role model for black children and young women across the country, as well as for other children who would see black people appearing as equals, going so far as to favorably compare her work on the series to the marches of the ongoing civil rights movement. This response by King left Nichols speechless, allowing her to realize how important to the civil rights movement her role was, and the next day she went back to Roddenberry's office to tell him that she would stay. In her role as Lieutenant Uhura, Nichols kissed white actor William Shatner as Captain James T. Kirk in the November 22, 1968, Star Trek episode Plato's Stepchildren. The episode is cited as the first example of an interracial kiss on scripted U.S. television, although several earlier examples exist. The Shatner/Nichols kiss was seen as groundbreaking, even though it was portrayed as having been forced by alien telekinesis. There was some praise and some protest. On page 197 of her 1994 autobiography Beyond Uhura, Star Trek, and Other Memories, Nichols cites a letter from a white Southerner who wrote, "I am totally opposed to the mixing of the races. However, anytime a red-blooded American boy like Captain Kirk gets a beautiful dame in his arms that looks like Uhura, he ain't gonna fight it." Nichols released 2 music albums. Down to Earth is a collection of standards released in 1967, during the original run of Star Trek. Out of This World, released in 1991, is more rock-oriented and is themed around Star Trek and space exploration. As Uhura, Nichols sang songs in Star Trek episodes Charlie X and The Conscience of the King. In her autobiography, Nichols wrote that she was romantically involved with Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry for a few years in the 1960s. She said the affair ended well before Star Trek began, when she realized Roddenberry was also involved with her acquaintance Majel Hudick. Hudick went on to marry Gene Roddenberry and have a regular supporting role as Nurse Christine Chapel on Star Trek. When Roddenberry's health was fading, Nichols co-wrote a song for him, entitled Gene, which she sang at his funeral. In June 2015, Nichols suffered a mild stroke at her Los Angeles home and was admitted to a Los Angeles area hospital. A magnetic resonance imaging scan revealed a small stroke had occurred, and she began inpatient therapy. In early 2018, Nichols was diagnosed with dementia, and subsequently announced her retirement from convention appearances. Following a legal dispute over the actions of her manager-turned-caretaker Gilbert Bell, her son Kyle Johnson filed for conservatorship in 2018. Before a court granted his petition in January 2019, Nichols' friend Angelique Fauchet, who had already expressed concern in 2017 over Bell's control of access to her, pressed for visitation rights, including by opposing Johnson's petition. That dispute and a 2019 court case by Bell over being evicted from the guest house on Nichols' property were both ongoing as of August 2021. Nichols died of natural causes in Silver City, New Mexico, on July 30, 2022, at the age of 89.